Governor Walker, you're on the wrong side of history. You're standing in the doorway of our nation's most basic values, our most cherished aspirations, and we won't give them up. Teachers didn't cause Wisconsin's budget problems, and we won't quit until we keep all of our rights. Right?
Well, no white flags, no peace talks there. You saw that. The epic stare down between Wisconsin union groups and the governor heats up. But which side will be the first to blink? Labor Notes Director Mark Brenner says this open season declaration on public workers cannot stand. To you, Mark, make your case.
Well, look, I mean, what we're seeing here is Governor Walker is doing what Rahm Emanuel recommended President Obama do, but didn't do in 2008, which is never let a crisis go to waste. I mean, the Republicans now see a kind of final solution for one of the thorns in their political sides, one of the actual sort of bulwarks of the rest of us, you know, not the rich, and that's the union movement. You know, the people who actually keep most living standards high for folks who don't live in, you know, zip codes and like yours, or go to country clubs.
This is a direct attack. First of all, Mark, I don't think you know where I live, so you don't know what zip code I live in. But I'll tell you something. I've got family members who are teachers, and they're saying, look, what the governor is proposing in Wisconsin is pretty modest compared to what the private sector worker has to deal with when the private sector worker is seeing their own 401k contributions suspended. You hear the silent majority of the taxpayers in Wisconsin who pay for government worker pay, and they're saying, look, the state is broke. What the governor is proposing is modest.
Liz, the governor is proposing completely stripping away collective bargaining rights from public sector workers. That's not going to solve the budget crisis. This is a way to essentially silence working people in the state of Wisconsin. What are they doing with that money that you're talking about? The political contribution. They're advocating for more schools.
Wait a second. No one's talking about. Hang on a second.
More care for the elderly.
I hear what you're saying. No one's talking about silencing government workers when you see rallies like right here. So, you know, there's no silencing going on, and no one's saying that teachers are causing the budget crisis. What the governor is saying that everybody has to step up to the plate because the state is in fiscal disrepair, and that property taxes and income taxes and sales taxes that you and everyone else pays, we can't do it anymore. We're tapped out. We can't foot these very rich compensation packages.
Either you're going to talk about what caused the budget, what caused the financial problems in this country, why are states in a budget crisis? Well, they're in a budget crisis because for the last 30 years we've been cutting taxes on corporations and on the rich, and now the chickens have come home to roost. If you want to. Absolutely did cause the budget crisis. What are you talking about? And the recession is the other major cause.
All right, tell me, where did you get that
right?
information?
We've got the lowest tax rates for the rich in about 50 years. Corporations are absolutely, they're like the Bahamas now.
Show me where corporate taxation caused the financial crisis. It's a Wall Street issue, and it's a government-subsidized housing market that was the problem that caused the crisis,
You asked about the budget crisis. You're absolutely right that the Wall Streeters caused this meltdown, but I don't see any of them in handcuffs. And what's Walker doing? He's saying he's going to call out the National Guard and put teachers and nurses and firefighters in the clink. I mean, look, this is a guy making a political move. He's
not saying he's going to put him in the clink.
Absolutely. He says he's going to call the National Guard out. What is that about if that's not sort of
to protect the population from protests that could get out of hand? That's all.
Right, because the most dangerous thing that happened in the Capitol today is some people came down and delivered cookies. The cops are there. What are they doing?
No, I hear what you're saying.
And handing them out to the protesters. They know exactly what this is about. They recognize this is about defending their rights, Liz,
let's
and they're
bring it
going to
down
do
to what you're saying and what caused the budget crisis, and how do we get out of this fiscal mess? Because I tell you, America's cash register, the taxpayer, can't do it anymore.
Well, sure, but you know, the simple solution is right out there staring you in the face. Why are we repealing tax cuts for the richest Americans who've been absolutely raking it in for three decades? Why are corporations paying single-digit taxes? It makes no sense. I mean, in fact, Walker's the biggest hypocrite in the world because he actually cut taxes on corporations, further exacerbating this budget when he's actually now going and saying, oh, and we're going to blame the teachers and we're going to take it out on their hides.
All right,
it's absolute hypocrisy. It's political grandstanding. And the labor movement finally is issuing the wake-up call to workers around the country. We are not going to stand by while people like him take us to hell in a handbasket.
All
Absolutely
right, you get
not.
the last word. Good to be with you tonight.